Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video we'll be taking a look at a very illuminating subject, a mini light from JOBY. This is the BEAMO Mini. Keep watching to find out more. Okay, so on today's video we'll be taking a look at the JOBY BEAMO, or to be more precise, the BEAMO Mini. There's two versions of this light available from our friends over at JOBY. The BEAMO and the BEAMO Mini. The BEAMO itself is a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter, and has wireless charging. The Mini version is a little bit smaller, less bright, but it has a really cool trick up its sleeve, which is it has actually a magnetic back, giving you nice, easy, flexible options for mounting it when you're out in the field doing something, creative shots, all that kind of stuff. Both of them are weatherproof and actually waterproof up to 30 meters or around about 100 foot, but I haven't measured it, so take that on the instructions of the manufacturer. But essentially this is a portable light for photography, so whether it's for standard photography, video, whatever the case may be, whether you're using with a DSLR or micro four thirds camera such as the lumens, or maybe you're using in conjunction with an iPhone or Android device. Absolutely perfect, very portable, and actually if you're a one-man shooter or maybe you're part of a film crew, having one of these in your backpack is always going to be a great thing to get you out of a fix when maybe a bulb goes, a light goes, or you just need a little bit of extra lighting for your product shots or just to light up someone's face. Maybe you're shooting in a car, for example. Those are one of those things where it's always really difficult to get the right lighting when you're in a car. You can't have a huge set of lights in the car, and the interior lights in a car don't make you look very good at all. So having something like this really handy, really flexible, so you can either put on your camera or magnetize to part of the car, absolutely perfect. Again, there's going to be hundreds of different uses for this. That is just one of them. Obviously, do let us know in the comments if you can think of any cool and creative ways that you could use one of these lights. I'd be really interested to know what your thoughts and preferences are. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's take a look at the packaging. We'll take it out of the box. I'll do some demonstrations of the brightness of the light. Now obviously, because the camera itself has kind of automatic ISO, you're not going to get the full gist of how bright this thing actually is. And it is incredibly bright. It does say on the front here that it is up to 1,000 lumens LED. Now it is adjustable. There's 5 settings, starting from 500 lumens, going all the way up to 1,000. So you do have a little bit of control over it. Also, it can be controlled via Bluetooth in the JOBY app, which is absolutely brilliant. So you can actually use it within the JOBY app, film everything on the camera, or film it actually on the phone itself, whatever you want to do, but you can take control of the lights. You can actually group these together because they are Bluetooth. You can have up to 4 of them in one go, and they can all interlink. It's just a crazy little system. I love it. So let's take a look at the packaging. So BEAMO Mini on the front there. Again, you can get 2 versions, the BEAMO and the Mini. It's a magnetic back. Again, that is the trade-off on this one. If you want the more expensive one, the bigger version, that has wireless charging also, which for me personally, I don't think is going to be something that I think most people would want to use. Wireless charging seems a little bit of a gimmick most of the times anyway, even with phones and things like that. I personally prefer a magnetic back. Also, it says it's got a 1,000 lumen LED, as we discussed. On the other side, it shows you a pretty neat little picture there of 4 of them grouped together. So you can basically make yourself a kind of LED panel out of 4 of these, although that may be a little bit on the expensive side to do, but certainly is possible if you need to get extra light in. Or again, because you can control them all in the app, either individually or as a group, you can have these set up. So you've got a key light, a fill light, maybe a hair light. Obviously hair light's not particularly good for me, but you get the general idea. There's tons and tons of flexibility, and you can create your own lighting scenes as well, which you can store in the app. But we'll take a look at that a little bit later. As you can see on the bottom, it says there you can download the myJOBY app to have some fun with, and that is available for Android users and also for iOS. Moving around onto the other side, it shows you some other options. This is with some other JOBY accessories. So you've got the BEAMO Mini on top of the phone there, and also on a kind of selfie stick. So again, lots and lots of options. As I said, it does work with Bluetooth, so you can go ahead and use the Bluetooth app if you want to. But if you don't have to at all. There are buttons on the side which you can use to control the lighting effects, turn it on and off, all those kinds of cool things. Moving around onto the next side, it does show you the magnetic back in action, so on a metal pole. Again, when you're out and about filming, there's plenty of places you can stick something magnetic to. In your street, you can maybe connect it to like a street sign, that kind of thing, road signs, a car, bus shelter, all those kinds of things. Basically, if it's metal, it'll stick to it. Also, again, it says waterproof up to 100 foot or 30 meters thereabouts. So if you want to, you could take it down with you with your GoPro in its shell, go underwater and do some filming. Maybe if you want to do some sort of underwater stuff in murky waters, this is going to be absolutely fine for either letting you see where you're actually going or for highlighting what you're filming. Maybe you're doing some kind of treasure shots and you're digging up stuff underneath and you've got all that mud and silt flying around. Extra bit of lighting like this is going to make it a lot easier to see what is actually going on. And that is what video is all about. Essentially, you're trying to get a message across, so the better you can light it so that people can actually see what's going on, the better it is for everybody. And also, if you're looking at making a career of it, it's better for views and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's enough of that. Let's take it out of the box and see what we get. Now, I have actually taken this out and had a little bit of a play with it already. For those of you that are regulars to the channel would have seen it on our Saturday night live stream where I tried to blind people on the other end of the camera. It's all good fun. So in the packaging we get a instruction manual or installation guide, or both of those put together in some way, shape or form. It goes through in kind of like your IKEA type instructions, and it shows you all the individual things you can do, how to set up, how to charge it, etc. Charging time with the lithium ion battery that's in there, roughly about 2 hours on a USB type C. Obviously if you use a higher voltage it will charge a little bit faster. If you use a lower voltage it will take a little bit longer, but essentially about 2 hours for a full charge, which I think is absolutely fine. The charging point is waterproof as well, and it's sealed and all that kind of stuff. As I said, it is waterproof, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Shows you back on the back about the magnetic back, etc., how to use the lights, how to attach it to devices, etc., etc., but you get the general idea. So next up in the box we get a USB type C cable for charging purposes, so you can use that to charge this device, or you can use it to charge your mobile phone or any other devices you've got, so that's pretty handy. USB type C is becoming more and more popular, so it's nice to see them taking that into consideration and actually using that. Also in the packaging we get a double-sided cold shoe adapter, and I'll show you why you get that in a minute. And last but not least we get the light itself. It is quite lightweight, so it doesn't come out of the packaging very easily. But there we go, it looks pretty cool. And you've got the JOBY logo on the top. This red section on the top is red for a reason, because this is the danger area, or the charging area. So you've got a clasp on the top, and also there is a rubber kind of bung or grommet in there to keep it weather sealed. And you've got your USB type C connection in there, so that's all really cool for charging. Again, you can seal it back down, so keep it all nice and weatherproof. On one side you've got your 1/4 thread. You've got a cold shoe there with your on-off buttons and adjustments for the lighting. Moving around onto the other side, you've got another cold shoe, and we're back to the beginning again. So as you can see from the front, we've got this LED lamp, and also it does come with this pretty cool diffuser as well, which is kind of like a silicone, and there's a red tag on the top, and that matches up with the red tag on there, and it all fits on very nicely and diffuses the light really well. Okay, so mounting wise, how can you mount it? So you've got the 1/4 inch thread there already. If you need an additional thread, you can use the double cold shoe adapter, and that just slots in there, and then you can then slot it into your camera. So at the moment I've got my JOBY Wavo mic on my Lumens camera, so let's take that off. So we'll slide that out of the cold shoe. We can then put our light in. And because we've got another cold shoe on the side there, we can still connect up our accessories. So then I can slot the JOBY mic back in, and there we go, we're ready to go with our camera. So this is basically a fully operational mobile rig for dim light conditions, all that kind of stuff. So if you're out and about on the field, maybe doing some pieces to camera, quite nice and simple. You just flip out your screen, get everything set up, and you can do all your work, all your selfies, all that kind of stuff, all your vlogging, and you've got everything you need. So you've got lighting, you've got crisp audio. What more could you want? Really, really good. So you can use it, like I said, with the unit bare like this. So if you're filming straight on, this is really good for giving you a really wide dispersal of light. If you're doing close-ups, then you can get your silicone cover, stick that on the front of there, and then that will diffuse the light. So if you're using this maybe handheld or with a Gorilla Pod, that kind of thing, you can have it and not be blinded by the light, but still get some really nice diffused light. There is some footage of this which I've done already, which I'll show you now actually, so you can see what it's actually like in both the studio conditions and also out in the garden where it was pretty much pitch black. So this is a test. This is in the studio. We've just got the ceiling light on, as you can see it there. No other light in. So let's turn on the JOBY light, and that is with it on, that is 100% brightness in the app, which I've got here. And as you can see, the skin tones and everything are much better already. Just as a handheld, this works actually really well. So we can adjust the light down a little bit in gradients. So that is at 50%. Actually, that does add a considerable amount of light into the shot, and actually looks much better than what it did previously. So let's try it with the studio lights on. So hey Google, turn on the studio lights. So wait for the camera to settle down a bit. So yeah, it actually looks pretty good. And there's a fill light on top of the camera. That works well. So that's with the light off. This is just with the studio lights. It's a little bit hot in places. So actually in this area, yeah, we've got virtually no light in there. So if we crank that up a little bit. So you can see the fill light works actually really well. I'm looking in the camera to see what it looks like, but actually this does look pretty good. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, so this is outside in the garden, and as you can see, well, you probably can't see, I'm actually in front of a floodlight here, which is pretty useless. Let's see if I can get the PIR light to come on. So there's our garden PIR light, and you can basically not see me at all. So let's turn on the light, and there we go. We're outside, and this is kind of blog style, so this actually works really well. I'm lit. The cover's on at the moment, so let's take it off. That's pretty bright. Let's put the diffuser back on, and you get some much better skin tones. So actually, yeah, works pretty good. Lights up your subject if you're outside vlogging, doing stuff. This is absolutely fine. Works really well, and I can barely see where I'm going out here. It is really dark, as you see if I turn the light back off. And yeah, there we go. I'm still there, but you can't make me out. So if you are running gun, this is going to be perfect. Okay, so now after you've seen that, looks pretty decent. So let's show you the app in a little bit more detail. So you can download the myJOBY app from the App Store, iOS, Play, etc. And all you need to do is turn on the device. So we'll press the on button. And first of all, it just works as normal, so it turns itself on. There is a blue flashing light on there, so you can then pair it with your mobile device. I better turn that around because it's going to blind everybody. So you can go into the app and click cancel, and straight away on the brightness on the top, you can just use the slider, and as you can see, it's increasing and decreasing the lighting, so you can put it up onto full blast, which is incredibly bright. You think these are studio quality lights in here at the moment, really bright, and even with this, you can tell that it's really illuminating. It's so bright. Again, 1000 lumens altogether. And if we take it right down to the very bottom, that is 0, so you've got 0 increment, 5%. I think it goes in probably about 2 or 3%. Actually, you can do incremental, so there's 1%, 2%. Is a little bit small to do, but you can go ahead and do it in the app. So yeah, that's is pretty decent. And also, again, if you want to use these in conjunction with your phone, the JOBY app you can actually use, as you can possibly see on the screen if it's not yeah, there you go, you can just about see it. So you can actually use the app to actually do photos. If you swipe across, you can do video, or you can do slow-mo shots, again using the lights and controlling it all as you go. So overall, actually, it's a really cool little system. The fact that you've got so many different options for control, you can either use the buttons manually, you can attach it to the camera, you can attach it to a tripod, you can magnetize it to something. So is that metal? Yeah, well, not very much metal. Oh, there you go, the stick. So if you've got something metal, that's just a paintbrush with a metal surround. So again, the options are pretty much endless. And again, you've got pretty much full control over it, so however bright you want it to go. Yeah, a really handy little system. So if you want to find out more about these products, there'll be some links in the video description below, both from JOBY's website themselves and also some Amazon links around the world, so you can check it out. But if you're getting into photography, you're getting into video work, all that kind of stuff, and you want to have something a little bit more flexible, or maybe something a little bit more portable, this thing is so small, you could quite easily stick it into your pocket. It's going to easily fit into your camera bag. So for those emergency situations where you've got like a low lit situation and you just need to get some extra light on the subject, this is going to be brilliant. So I'm really impressed with it. Hopefully you are too. Again, you can check out the links in the video description. But in the meantime, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. And hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.